going on? I don't know. Don't know.
Howie,
I do know.
Him.
I do know, and I did X you. I think you made a big mistake. The reason I fought for you to be here, I was probably your biggest proponent, is because I think you're great musicians who had a neat kind of gimmick, and you should have brought other bodies on and played serious music. If you're doing comedy on comedy, it doesn't work. Comedy's not your forte. Music is your forte, and you should have stuck to great music and forget the funny.
Well, you know, this is all kind of silly because these three were proponents of yours. I was not. And you did everything they told you to do. You stepped it up. You put on costumes. You made it bigger, better. But stop it. I'm talking now, and you got to learn something.
Oh.
Just because you put these guys through and you set them up. So you put on the costumes and you made a whole story and everything else. And the problem was it didn't work. The act doesn't work. It's a funny thing for a few seconds, and this is going to sound weird coming from a guy who was Fart Man on MTV, but this all seemed kind of juvenile to me, honestly.
All right. Guys, you got an X, and the judges weren't really into it, but I just heard you say you succeeded in being juvenile. Do you feel like you accomplished what you came to do?
Yeah, I believe we put everything on this stage, and you know, it's up to America. And
should Heidi be concerned about you? Are you okay?
I am all right. All right. Maybe some cocoa butter.
It'll all work out. I remember, because they smacked me like that. I understand. If you want Tummy Talk into the semifinals, you know what you got to do for them. You got to vote for them. Call 1-866-60-AGT 08. 1-866-602-4808. Howard, sit down. I can't see my teleprompter. Vote online at NBC.com. You can also vote on Twitter. Tweet #VoteAGT and your favorite act's name.
Coming up, I never expected to get the response that I have.
You made a friend.
It's a humbling experience, it really is.
This is just a character. I have sex all the time. I'm trying to get 10 million people to like me. And no pressure, right?
Welcome back to Radio City Music Hall. This next contestant is a comedian who has spent years working bars and coffee shops. This is his chance to make America laugh. He's Taylor Williamson.
A week before my America's Got Talent audition, I invited a girl to come to one of my shows. And she said to me, "You do this every night of your life? That's so sad. I don't want to have to hear that ever again." I'm kind of freaking out because I've been watching the show and I see how all these amazing performers spend hours a day rehearsing for this moment. I spend most of my days sitting in my underwear playing video games. Sometimes I'm not even in my underwear. I've been preparing a lot of yoga, a lot of napping. Napping's important. I don't believe any of this. I feel like this is all just a big prank by Howie Mandel. He's just gonna be like, "This is all a trick, no one likes you."
Doc, say it.
In my career and in my life, I've never been the guy who got picked. Before this show, I would walk on stage and people would be like, "Who's this weird guy?" You know? But now, I walk on stage, people are like, "Hey, look, it's that weird guy." And it's what I've been dreaming of for 10 years. If I don't make it through to the semifinals, I'll probably cry a lot. America, you don't want me to cry, do you? Hey everybody, it's great to be here in New York City. Here are a few things I've learned through my experiences in beautiful New York City. First, I learned that pretty girls on subways don't enjoy talking to really talented up-and-coming comedians. I learned that. I learned that when you're done using a prophylactic, you're supposed to tie it in a knot and throw it on the sidewalk. And my favorite thing I learned in New York City, just because you're homeless doesn't mean you can't have cats. A homeless man came up to me and said, "Give me your money or I'm gonna go jihad on your ass." Now I know I should have been concerned, but instead I was impressed. This homeless man's been keeping up with the news. Someone's been reading his blanket. Get it? Hold on, let me make sure I covered everything here. Let me see. Came out the Spice Girls. That was pretty big. What a coincidence that you were here, too. Oh, what are the odds? Let's see. Homeless people, cats, classic. The good thing about dating a blind girl is you don't have to worry that she might be seeing other people. That's fun, right? That's fun, right? Right? Because they can't, you know. The only girls who look at me like I'm a piece of meat are vegetarians. Unattractive older women should be called Freddy Cougars. And standing ovation from everyone in the audience, including the judges. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks.
Standing ovation in Radio City Music Hall.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Freddy Cougars.
Hey.
That needs to be a hashtag immediately. Mel B.
Taylor,
Hi.
I do find you funny. I really do. Tonight was a little bit hit and a little bit miss for me. I thought you were a little bit nervous.
That's a big
And I think when you're a little bit nervous, your words kind of mumble into one. So some of the stuff I was catching and some of it I wasn't. But I do enjoy your comedy, I have to say.
Oh,
You made me laugh.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I like you a lot.
Aw, that's sweet.
Howie, how do you
Here's what I have to say, guys. You can't judge, and I was looking at Heidi and Mel just on the materials. Like looking at a singer and saying I didn't like the song. He's an amazing singer when it comes to comedy. He's a great character. I love what he does. I can see him as an animated character. People are going to remember that awkward guy. You are funny, regardless. Don't break it down to each joke. And I love how he broke down the comedy and
It
he was
is
reading
that funny that you have to explain it to all of us.
Whoa.
But don't think of the joke. You don't think he's a funny guy. You don't
You
think
got a
he's a funny
standing
guy.
ovation. Judge Howard Stern, can
Look,
you make some sense of this?
First of all, you are a very likable guy. I think actually girls are going to like you. I think you're kind of a cute guy, if I may say.
Howard Stern thinks you're cute.
Having a bit of a bromance with you. I think you did very well. Look, you're coming out for 90 seconds. You got to deliver and get this audience on their feet and laughing. I think you delivered. I think your material was good. I think your character is great.
Thank you.
You had a good night. I do.
Hey, thanks. I don't know why everyone backstage is saying you're so mean. I think you're such a nice man.
I'm an easygoing guy.
You're a gentleman.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I am the meanie.
I know.
I am the meanie. No, not really. And the thing is, Taylor, I really like you. Like when you giggle and when you laugh and when you are just being you, I think that you're adorable and kind of quirky in a funny way. I like that. But it's your material for me. Like I'm looking for an act that I can go and see with my family. And I feel like your material is not
You should have spoken German.
material.
You should have done it in German.
I will have too much explaining to do with my kids.
I have Heidi Klum not enjoy my stand-up comedy. Did that? Okay, cool.
All right, now, Taylor, I've talked to everyone. We've heard Chris Rock and even Andrew Dice Clay say one of the hardest places to do stand-up comedy is in Radio City Music Hall because it's so big. You just got a standing ovation in Radio City Music Hall doing stand-up comedy. How does that feel?
I just want to say that in all seriousness, this means so much to me that I'd be validated by you guys. Like Howie, I grew up watching your comedy, and Howard, I've listened to you for so long, and Heidi, I grew up doing weird things to you I can't talk about on television. Thank you.
Taylor Williamson to get him into the semifinals. You know what you got to do. Call 1-866-60-AGT-09. That's 1-866-602-4809. Remember, just 4 acts will make it through to the semifinals, so make sure you vote.
Coming up, to do it at the level that you did it just blows it out of the water.
Our margin for error is almost none. The stunt that I'm doing tonight is extremely